The following podcast may contain strong language. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello, and welcome to Hallmark of Greatness Last Orders, the podcast where we look back into the films our Hallmark favourite actors and directors would rather forget they were ever involved with. I'm Joe, and with me as always, the man with the biggest, and some would say veiniest, penal codes in the Greater Yorkshire area. It's James.
Oh, that harks back to such a simpler time, doesn't it? The aftermath. Oh, what a film! What a podcast!
That was the last one we done.
Yeah,
And it feels like a lifetime
ago.
ago.
On a high, didn't we?
Yeah, heady days.
And a man on the run for the rusty frying pan death of Coconut Joe and his big hand family. It's Planty.
Remember the great times we had seeing that old man die? Do you remember the fun times we had seeing women murdered and sexually harassed?
Do you remember when he came
in
in those spare trousers that the art department had?
Oh, dear.
Wild. If you want to keep up to date with upcoming film choices and that, you can follow us on Twitter at Hallmark of Great, all one word, or you can find us on Instagram and Facebook at Hallmark of Greatness. Or, if you like big butts and you cannot lie, I want to recommend a film to us, you can email us at hallmarkofgreatness@gmail.com.
Or just, a bus stop. We're probably at one of them.
Any
given moment.
During the day, there's like a 20% chance I'm waiting at a bus stop.
Yeah, so just go to there.
In case a certain little lady walks by.
I was thinking bus stop, she walks by, my umbrella.
But now I'm thinking bus stop, who did Kung Fu fighting? Like in the 90s.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Just as a strange aside, when we got rid of the car that had Apple Play and ended up stuck with a car that had only a CD player for a short period of time, Rachel went through and found her old Now CDs. And I had to guess what year that Now CD was from. And I got it based on Bus Stop's Kung Fu fighting.
Nice.
Particular
disc.
97, I want to say.
Correct, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I would have said 98, but then I was
that Now disc was actually across 97, 98. I think they tend to come out in February. So
that's the thing, you clung on to them back then, didn't you?
It'd be just before Christmas, surely, as a thing to give to a child.
No, you'll be astounded, but no.
Yeah. Welcome to Old Men Remember Things. We've abandoned Hallmark. We're just going to remember things from the past.
Please, can we just do that?
Oh, Dusty Bin. What was that about? Hey, Nora Batty. Oh. Yeah, it's a new year, but we're going to do the same old shit, because if it isn't working, don't try and fix it. Or whatever the phrase is.
We did try and fix it. We tried to bring something newer.
Well, we're going to try this year, for every Hallmark film, we're going to try and find a spin-off nonsense from that one, I think. And we have this week with... 2014's School Dance. Yep, that's what it's called, School Dance. James, do I need to fire up the synopsis machine, or have you sold it to my Frank?
That was bright, wasn't it?
BBC Sound Labs have got shit all on me, son.
Yeah, so you've just fired up the sleek event contraption of impartiality, and it says, School Dance 2014. Sandy School is a small town roadie for Mohammed Johnson's rock and roll circus. Yep, those two things were next to one another. Who finds herself looking after a dance instructor's Komodo dragon, Albert, or else the Harvest Festival will be ruined. Things really get going when Sandy becomes acquainted with Marco Dance, a roof cop who is a sensation at the local post office. Things really get going when her ex returns, Roosevelt Plentiful, the betrayer, and the two of them must work together. Will they start an animal sanctuary of their very own? Perhaps.
Roosevelt Plenty sounds like a Chaucer character.
The betrayer as well. It's very
the
good.
betrayer.
Small Town Roadie and Mohammed Johnson. That is a reference to Roadie, so you have to go back a few podcasts for that. And the roof cop, I'm going to say, is Q,
the Winged Serpent. Yeah, absolutely.
Roof cop and mime cop in that one. Yeah.
He wasn't a cop, but he thought he was. So yeah,
he had a gun, so that's enough.
He was working towards his cop license.
His NVQ and roof police.
He was getting taken aside to a side room once every 2 weeks to work with an invigilator.
City and Guilds in roof copping. Yeah. You've got to work your way up the building like Mortal Kombat till you get to the top, and then you become a roof cop. Right, because that sounds infinitely better than
it does, doesn't it?
The actual synopsis for this film: a high school freshman wants to be part of the most popular dance clique in his school, but he tends to freeze in the spotlight and has no clue how he's going to pass the initiation. Fucking hell.
Yeah, none of that actually came across for me?
I mean, he did. Their initiation was get some pants, wasn't it?
I feel massively missold on this because I thought it was going to be a musical.
I'm pretty sure it said it was a musical.
Yeah.
It's listed on IMDb as a comedy musical.
Yeah. Oh, and it's not either.
I mean, there's jokes in it. They're just not very funny.
I would go as far to say that there are some good jokes in it somewhere.
But
I'll get to that. But yeah.
Based on the poster alone, I'm like, oh, this is like Rock and Roll High School.
I exactly thought, brilliant. I tell you what, I have bought an absolute peach to this. It's a modern Rock and Roll High School. These guys are going to fucking love me.
Yep, because it's that cartoony, caricature drawing, Animal House, Porky's, Meatballs, all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
And we saw Donald Sutherland's ass. Yeah.
But yeah, this has nothing to do with this film whatsoever, which feels like even the Wyan brothers wouldn't have touched it. Like, they went, it's a bit racist.
Yeah.
And that's the Wyan brothers. So the film opens with, I thought my speakers were going, because it kept doing cutting ins and stuff, and that's at the
it does this Baz Luhrmann intro, doesn't it? Which is a throwback to it's Romeo and Juliet, the Baz Luhrmann version, where there's a person talking on it's like a news.
It's like a news report.
Oh yeah, Romeo plus
that's what they were
Juliet.
trying to do.
Yeah.
Because it's modern and it's about Shakespeare. Is it? Yeah.
Is this about Shakespeare?
Is it?
Yeah.
Which Shakespeare plays this then? Fucking
the Merchant of Tits.
Titus Andromedon.
Oh, have they got a new album out?
Yeah. And it's two comedy policemen.
Oh, I hated these two.
Who, for a second, I thought it was Dina from Superstore. And I was like, please don't be Dina from Superstore, because I love Dina from Superstore.
Just before we do this, James, have you got any facts about this particular actor that plays Dina from Superstore in this cop show?
Just the one.
Okay, that's fine. It's the one it's the one I'll have as well, so I won't do it. So we'll do that when we get to James. But yeah, there's only one thing about her. Second line in the film, by the way, they say school dance.
Do they? I missed that.
They say it so many times that I'm not.
Second line.
I'm not even getting the air horn out because I'd run out of gas. Like, I'd have to go and get a secondary can, and I ain't doing that. It's cold. They're saying to the news report that a teenager has been shot at the school dance. And then we get a hi. I guess you're wondering how I got here. At this point, I thought, oh fuck, there's 90 minutes of this.
Yeah. They also mentioned something about savages and animals, and there's that guy Jason being bundled into the back of an ambulance.
Well, they seem to be obsessed with like 1990s like gangster rap in this, and it's filmed in 2014. So,
and the reason for that being that the guy that made it was born the same year as me, 1980. There you go.
And you're into gangster rap.
I absolutely was into gangster rap before I realised I'm the whitest man.
I was going to say, don't ask him to do Nate Dogg to regulate, because he can't.
Yeah, because I can't.
So you didn't become a teacher, but yeah.
No, but what I did is I actually went into an inner city school to teach them how to be real people.
He sat backwards
just
on
like
his
Michelle
chair. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've sat on myself.
Did cry.
The
they all
officers
stood on their desks and went, "Oh, plenty, my plenty."
Yeah. The officers' names are Officer Enos and Blagney, and
That's
was
the level
probably-
that we're working at.
Yeah,
And they are not in this film.
I wish they weren't in this film.
Well, they are, because one of them eats some weed and then gets incredibly horny.
And then drinks some grape juice. Fucking
One
hell.
pisses
Yeah.
him all over a car. Oh, it's just horrible. It's just a train wreck.
I mean, we're ruining the fun parts of this.
Well, it's a rewind, so we're rewinding all the way through.
Oh, and it rewinds through the entire film as well.
It does,
I checked.
Did you?
Yeah, and I was like, this is the entire film, but in reverse.
And it's better. It's
Yeah.
a weird thing.
It's considerably better.
It's considerably better. It rewinds to Monte Vista High School in California. Jason has been driven to school by his mama, Tawana.
And it's funny because she's fat, right? That's the joke here.
She's fat and she's crass. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Incredibly crass.
I genuinely had to look and go, is that Eddie Murphy in a fat suit?
No, later on is the Eddie Murphy in a fat suit.
Yes. She's got
Except
a
couldn't get
gun.
Eddie Murphy. Couldn't get Eddie Murphy is all.
She leans in to give him a kiss, and it does the whole Ren and Stimpy thing of, mouth is horrible, there's hairs on it and everything.
Yeah, and the slobber
Question.
looked like the alien.
Question, right? I love my mum. I don't do open mouth kissing with her, like, because that's
No.
weird, isn't it? Like,
No, I stopped doing that when I was 8. Yeah.
It's clever though, isn't it? It's unreliable narrator, isn't it? Because he's telling this story, so it's from his point of view.
do you reckon?
Well,
Hang on, is it from anyone's point of view? Is it from a point of view?
Of a recently triaged brain damaged idiot.
she says, "Make me proud and learn something, you little bitch," and then does some handshake drugs with a kid.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So-
She's got a gun in her cleavage that she just whips out constantly.
And then we cut to the normal high school choreographed dance. It's out on the steps, kids.
Yeah, all the kids of the most popular dance group, of which there must be many. These are the most popular. The
Yeah.
Rangers.
Not Celtic.
Yeah, the Rangers.
It doesn't really go into
Rangers.
why they're.
At no point did they have a bow and arrow. At no point did they take some hobbits across the. They're not the proper
Well,
Rangers. in my opinion.
I looked up when I was reading the thingies for this. The S is spelt with a $sign. Make of that what you will. Like Kesha.
I thought you were going to say like Kez. I was going to say. I don't know.
Oh man, Kez was like that.
Yeah, because it was a critique on capitalism, you see. So
I hate you, Judge, you bastard bitch.
Jason is taking us through this. So he freezes frame, breaks the fourth wall, and walks through some of the credits for the groups that he's talking about.
Now, this looked okay.
It
For
looked
me,
really good.
this looked good, and I thought, okay, they've got a great designer here, graphic designer here. This looks good. I'd like to hire that man for 10 quid. I bet he's on
Mr.
Fiverr.
Film.
I bet
Mr. Film.
Mr. Film, Mr. Film 2000.
It's Mr. Film Jr., it's his son.
I was
He's
going to
like,
say,
on
Mr. Film
his-
2000. Was he involved in Blues Brothers 2000?
Wouldn't know,
Yeah.
never seen it, never going to watch it.
Oh, don't. It's terrible.
Don't.
On his deathbed, Mr. Film was like, son, continue my legacy. And then he just hands him like an Atari 2600. It's like, everything you need is in there.
He said, Papa, I'm going to supercharge it.
Again, I've seen this done before in another film
Yeah.
of them walking around the cliques and stuff, or it might be like a Deftones
Yeah,
video.
we've got
I
the
can't remember.
backpackers, the nerds, the dreadheads, the dirty ghetto kids. None of these ever feature, so it's unimportant.
No, the sweet, whatever they were called.
Sweet girls.
Sweet, yeah,
Girls.
the sweet shop down the end of the road.
That made me feel
That's where you
uncomfortable.
get your gulab jamun from.
The
I watched it.
racistly named
Nice.
essays and OG little pretty thug.
Who is a grown man hanging around outside a school? Like,
Yeah.
he's phoned the police. They'll move
There's
him
a
on.
few of them.
Oh, that's just the tip of the iceberg of the safeguarding concerns for this school, mate.
Yeah, it cuts to the sweet girls doing a bikini car wash for no reason other than to get some young ladies in bikinis.
They're shooting the new Girls with Low Self-Esteem video.
Well, I believe that all of the girls in that group are from a dance troupe thing
Yes.
called the Wild and Out Girls or something.
thought
Oh,
it was-
also a Nick
Dunno.
Cannon production.
Jesus fucking.
There you go. That
The
makes
nepotism
sense.
already.
That makes
Um,
sense.
I haven't looked into the ages of anyone because, frankly,
Oh,
at this
they're
point, I
all
just don't
like-
want to know.
Right now, they're all like 40, 39,
Yeah.
38.
So it's fine. It's
So-
fine.
That's what,
Right.
that's what
They were
I
all 30
felt.
back then.
It was just
Thank God.
awkward watching it at work when people kept walking around the back of my desk, and I'm like, "It's a rap video?" Question mark.
It's
Um,
research.
yeah.
And they were going, all right, Pete Townsend, give it a rest.
And he wants to be in the Rangers because his cousin is in the Rangers.
Yeah,
None of
Day
this.
Day's his cousin. It comes into it very brief. He's the whole reason why there's the gangs after the later, anyway.
Right,
But
yeah.
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Everybody, I usually spend about 10 pages writing notes down for you. I've got 4 pages on this one.
I got barely a page.
And most of it's just question marks, increasingly just scratched into the page.
My notes are loose at best.
We get the Prairie Puff Man. That's next.
Oh, killing kids for 100 years.
Patrick Warburton. Why?
He enhances it. Don't get me wrong, he enhances it.
He has like 4 scenes.
He's plastered throughout it, and he's just like, go and do that thing, kid.
Yeah, they paid him in drugs, it feels like.
4 hours. He was there for 4 hours.
Yeah, pretty much.
Quick, let's do everything while Pat's here. Quick as you can, lads. Let's just do all that.
I genuinely think this film was filmed in 90 minutes.
Well, even though it's 85 minutes.
They had to have a toilet break.
Catch the bloopers. Yeah, 5 minutes worth of bloopers on the credits.
Oh, I didn't. There's bloopers.
No, the bloopers were the credits.
No. I as soon as the credits started rolling, I was like, done.
Unless it's like Toy Story, I ain't watching bloopers and shit anymore. After the ones I went back and watched from the Kelly Carroll, Peter Davidson one from last week, I went back and I was like, these are just alternate takes. These are just bad.
That's what I thought, yeah.
Apparently didn't take the wrong takes, but yeah.
But the Prairie Puff Man is like, yeah, go for it. Go for this dance troupe led by your cousin. Impress that girl over there.
He explains that Anastasia?
Yeah.
That popular Mexican name.
I was
named
like,
after that Mexican princess.
I was like, why are they pronouncing it like a Russian would do? That's the thing. Anastasia. She is his crush, and they went to school together, and he did a wee on her when they were 4, and that's apparently she still remembers that, and I don't remember. What happened, like 5 days ago, but whatever.
She's still technically his territory, so.
I think she's had a wash. I hope she's had a wash since. But like,
in that car wash, remember?
In this big freeze frame, he goes over to her and sees that she's looking at him. And then the cowboy played by Patrick Warburton is like, go for it, go and join the band by doing a dance.
Yeah, it's like his safety thing is imagining this cowboy right by his shoulder.
Which is a good idea. It's a novel concept. I liked it. It could have been used more, rather than a 25-minute scene where some gangsters throw each other around for no reason.
I do like that Patrick Warburton's just there. Like, he doesn't even do stuff half the time. He's just there.
You turn around and he's behind you. Like,
I think he just showed up on set in his cowboy outfit, and he's like, we're making a film. Right, I'll be in it. What do you want me to do? I was in the tick, the good one, not the Peter Serafinowicz one, which is fine, but it's not as good. And so he does this little dance, and then his cousin whips his trolleys down, like his pants and his shorts, and everyone laughs at his cock.
Because he's uncircumcised, and everyone's circumcised in America.
Apparently,
yeah.
It's quite prevalent, apparently, yeah. Apart from the Jewish people, just to be opposites.
What?
No, that's not true at all.
I was going to say, you just absolutely blow me. I mean, that was a James fact for me.
At this point, I got broken up. I got broken up by adverts, and I had the most appropriate ad. I got, want to help in the aftermath of a disaster. It's I think I've just seen one.
See, I watched this on my Oki streaming service because I was like, I ain't sitting through fucking adverts.
It was a lot of Michael Cera films. This,
I think it's when you said Michael Cera appears more than the actual actors in this film. I was like,
There was 2 options for me. There was Amazon Freevee, or whatever you want to call it.
I didn't get that one.
Or Plex, which is what I watched it on. So I watched it on Plex, and I didn't get a single Michael Cera trailer till I said to Rachel on the 3rd advert, which is about 20 minutes in, James had loads of Michael Cera adverts, and we hadn't had any. And that's when the thing went, oh, you want Michael Cera adverts, do you? You want a Thandie Newton advert, do you?
The algorithm has been activated.
You want a film where Thandie Newton and your man from Star Wars, Anakin Skywalker, the lights go out and nasty shit happens. Ooh, have that.
I got that
3 or 4 times. Yeah.
There was one bit where it just started playing that over and over again, and I was
Yeah.
just like, "Well, I'll accept this," rather than carry on watching the film.
I got some bloke who was going, well, look, you use Google Maps, you use Google Chrome, you use Google Mail. Why don't you have a Google phone? Because they steal your fucking data, mate.
So yeah, they all laugh and they make lots and lots of cock jokes all the way through this. And some of them were pretty good and some of them were pretty terrible. They cut across to a guy, you look just like Errol or whatever. And there was a guy with like a turtleneck pulled up.
Yeah, that was all right. Yeah, I like that.
I've written Franklin looks like Wilfred in the Bash Street
In
Kids.
the Bash Street Kids!
Remember the Bash Street Kids? Jumper half over his face. And for me, I was kind of like, oh, I'm really proud of that. And then I thought, fucking hell, nobody knows who the Bash Street Kids are.
I remember the Bash Street Kids, yes. But I was like, is he from Fat Abbott? Because...
Oh, there was a Fat Albert bloke. Yeah.
Fat Albert, sorry. Yeah,
Fat Abbott. The Fat Abbott, did you say?
Yeah, Fat Abbott. It's Russ Abbott in a fat suit, isn't it? Jesus.
Oh, I thought you meant Fat Abba. I mean, I know they've put a lot of weight on recently, and they're
not fucking touring, are they?
They're not
Lazy
real
bastards. Yeah.
They've just got that 2-pack Shakur.
It's just all holograms. They're calling it a tour. You got to move for a tour. So they all laugh at his cock, and then they go in. And
there's a major plot point at this point.
They talk to the Rangers, range dollars, and he says, "Oh, you can be a cool hangout with us. You can be a ranger. You can be a New York Ranger." It's a fun Misfits joke for me. Oh no, I want to be a New York Ranger. Anyway, but you have to get a girl's pants. Mm-hmm. Panties, as Americans call them. Drawers, as I call them.
I think they do call them drawers at one point as well.
I thought drawers were boys' pants and panties. Anyway.
I thought it was just like an old-timey term for them, really, but yeah.
But he says you have to get them by the end of tonight, because tonight is the school orgy.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's the Unity in the Community School lock-in. Radio Power 106 has got a major record deal for best thing at a high school.
Yeah.
They all get
$2,000!
$2,000, yeah, for the winning thing.
Yeah. Now, he says, this line is, for those of you that don't know what a lock-in is, I was like, mate, I've been to enough pubs on council estates in Northern England to know what a fucking lock-in is.
If it's got a flat roof, never stay for a lock-in.
Someone's getting stabbed.
Someone will invariably try and kill you, in my experience.
And that's what happens in this film. At this point, they get introduced to Principal Rogers. I think his name's Rogers.
Question mark. Best character in it?
No,
only because it's what's his name, and he's probably the best actor in it.
Nope, the best character in it is the guy in the prison.
Yes.
The guy in the prison's very, very
he's
good.
The one that's got all the jokes.
Yeah,
yes,
he's
that's
very good.
The only good scene in this is him doing lots of white people jokes.
Yes, that's where
that is the best bit.
Yeah, but so that he has to get one of the what they call Superfly girls. No, Sweet Girls.
Sweet Girls.
Jesus Christ, I'm
I think
so
it's with
old.
a Y as well.
It is with a Y. Girls. He has to get one of their pants by the end of tonight to prove himself as a ranger. Which is never blowing the horn of Gondor, is it? But and so he goes, okay. But then like one of them gets out some that he's just carrying around in his like fucking what?
Yeah.
He's carrying around some ladies' drawers. Oh, that's just weird.
It is weird.
They also give him a book of how to be a ranger that is mentioned once more and then never again.
Yes, and you get a little brief snippet as well of like different definitions of things.
I thought it was going to be a whole thing, that like an Urban Dictionary fun thing.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Film, came up with that on the fly.
Mr. Film Junior he came up with it on the Superfly.
He's his own person now. Mr. Film the second. I've written the Hater Dance. I don't really know what that was about now. Lost in the midst of time.
We get this whole bit with
Principal Rogers?
The Principal Rogers, a sexy secretary that they all keep looking at her ass.
Yeah.
Johnson, I think her name was. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, he's I thought the first time he walked out, I thought it was quite good in that he's got like a 70s suit and he's got a bit of an afro, and it felt like it's sort of like that tail end of the civil rights era. Like do-gooder loses that immediately.
But that's the two touchstones of this film is I'm gonna get you sucker
Yeah.
And don't be a menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood. That's the only two cultural marks it has in it.
Yeah.
And nothing else.
And nothing else. And I was like, I'd be fine if it was one or the other. Because I'm going to Get You Sucker is brilliant. Like, it's a genuine, fun police squad kind of film. It's like a Zucker and Zucker film, is it?
It is, yeah.
And then Don't Be a South Central is an early Wayans, so it's not so bad as like the not Scream, what they called?
Ghost House.
Scary movie.
Scary movie. Yeah. We all got different ones, and eventually.
But they did it. Did they not do Haunted House as well? That was one they did later on.
Meet the Spartans.
Yes.
Wow.
Hero movie.
Yes.
That's got Leslie fucking Nielsen in. But yeah, they just churned him out. But
he's ostensibly worried. He's worried about gang violence. He doesn't want him joining the Rangers. I'm like, why don't you just ban the Rangers then? It's your school.
The Rangers are not a gang. They're three lads who do backflips, and steal pants
and mild homophobia later on.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. 2014. That's
they all
still
looked at
happening.
each other's. You know, they've all looked at each other's cocks. Like, weird.
Anyway,
while this is happening,
go on. Sorry, I keep wanting to jump in.
Day we find out about, because of the gangs thing, the SAs, who are the Latino gang, are the toughest gang.
Yeah.
Because of what's he called? Big
Junior.
Big Junior.
Yes.
Right.
I've written here Mexican Brian Glover.
Oh yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I'll be in that.
I quite like the bit where they punch him in the stomach and then they hold a phone to his face, and it's Junior on the other end of the phone who's looking down, and they've got him also looking down because he's been punched in the gut. It was quite nicely framed, that, with people's faces right up to it.
There
that
was
good.
fun bits in it, and he's speaking in Spanish,
which I could follow.
Oh, did you get a translation?
It's pretty much what they say. Like, he wants the money by the end of the night.
I thought there'd be a fun joke hidden in there or something for like the Spanish-speaking audience, but obviously I expected to.
No, hard-faced man wants his
But I
$2
did
grand.
like the fact that Efren Ramirez, one of the essays, says, "I don't speak Spanish." Okay, fair enough. But yeah, he owes him. Day owes him $2,000 because of something that his dad has done, which we get in
a flashback,
in another flashback,
a
flashback within a flashback, which they reference. And I was like, you break the fourth wall, but then you like never break the fourth wall again.
They do, but there's two more breaks. One at the very, very end, and there's kind of like a part way through. There's like a kind of
there is,
wink.
There's a big wink to camera, sorry. And we got to, and legitimately, like, if you can find this scene, find it on YouTube. It's the best thing in the film, because it is basically Day-Day's mum has gone to visit Day-Day's dad in prison with a white baby with glasses on, who looks like a middle manager. Like,
he looks like Richie Rich. He looks like the little kid out of The Littlest Vampire.
Or if Casper was a real boy at the end of the film and it shows it. And he basically does all these jokes about like
that's not my baby. That baby has a 730 credit rating from birth.
That's a great line.
But then he goes, I've also been in prison for 20 consecutive years. Do you know what consecutive means? One after the other.
He turns to the baby at one point and says, "No disrespect to you, sir, but I hope to work for you one day." And that was that
was a high point of the film for me.
I clapped.
It was what's the guy's name? He is a comedian and has been in other stuff. Cat Williams is his name.
Yes.
Yeah, he turns up in other stuff, and he always plays the same sort of guy, but this is just like a monologue of him.
Well, yeah, when you said that you can't do a flashback within a flashback, they say that to him, and he says, "Well, I'm a criminal, so I do things that you're not supposed to do." And I thought, actually, that's quite good. Yeah.
He explains that
they ran out of lines after this.
In a game of dominoes, he owes Junior $2,000 basically because he lost, and then Junior karate chops the concrete table in half for no reason.
Then he says that Day, his son, is a big successful rapper and could easily spare $2,000, which is why they're after Day.
He wants 7,000 cigarettes, at least 5,000 of them menthol, and 2,000 pineapple fruit cups. And he goes, how do you expect me to get those into prison? And then for some reason he pulls a load of tape out of his ass, and I didn't get that bit, but whatever.
I think that's the song that they play later. He's like, play this, it's good, sort of thing. It's come out of my ass. You don't have to smell it.
Don't smell those.
Yeah.
Play it. Yeah.
Again, there's a lot of very crude bass humour, which normally I would be all over, but it just doesn't land.
They don't really follow that through with anything either. It's like, it doesn't really matter. It could be in any song that they play later. But anyway.
And then we cut back to
gym class.
Gym class.
It is.
What was that?
I don't know. I was like, why are they teaching choreography?
Is this not Mr. Burns doing the thing? Push out the jive, pull in the low.
Yeah.
That was calisthenics.
There's a brief reference to 19th century civil rights activist Frederick Douglass, and I don't know why. And it's very quickly glossed over to someone else.
If anyone's going to spot that, James, it's you, isn't it? Really?
Yep.
Good spot.
But like the gym teacher is he supposed to be like flamboyantly gay, or
I guess so.
But they're all doing this. But the Rangers
ignore him, do their own thing, don't they?
The Rangers and the sweet girls, fucking hell, they're all like off to one side. And I was like, I couldn't do that in PE. Like, if you weren't doing it, you had to do it in your pants. But they're all watching it, and they're all like, oh, I like how Triple B's booty bounces or something. Yeah. And this is where they get the book out, and he goes,
oh yeah.
And it's Big Booty Betty, and they do a thing where it goes down the page and everything. And I thought, oh, that's going to be fun. It's going to be like a running joke.
I know. I tried to see a bit more of that book, but it is actually all like
blurred. Yeah,
it's like crossed out. It's like framed, so you can only see that bit, which is a shame.
One joke. Set that up for one joke.
Yeah.
And then like the teacher comes over and he's like, you have to come and do exercise. And for some reason, what's he even called? The main little lad in it? Jason. Or J Extra, they nickname him. I can't remember why. He just squirts a load of water over Anastasia for some reason.
And then she's like, oh, you're that kid that pissed on me. Yeah. And then it's time for a song. I can't remember what the song was because it was so forgettable.
Do you think, on the subject of this kid, because obviously we know what he's out of. He's the kid out of Role Models. Do you think somebody somewhere in a room's gone? Do you know what I loved some executive. I loved that little kid out of Role Models. He's all grown up now. Do you want to see what he looks like all grown up? I bet he'd be brilliant all grown up in a grown-ups film, wouldn't he? Let's show him all grown up. No taller. Voice isn't broken. Nothing. It's the same fucking child looking exactly the fucking
small,
same.
isn't he?
Yeah, a little kid out.
Well, his mum makes reference to that several times. Yeah.
Yep.
Let's put him in the grown-up man in Role Models. Yeah.
But he's supposed to be in first year of American high school, which is 15, 16-ish.
Is it? Right, okay.
And he's surrounded by these 30-year-olds.
I think you get 4 years in American high school and you leave at 18, 19, which is 2 years later than here. So
with like one GCSE. Yeah.
It's a GED, it's a general education diploma, I believe. But you're like freshman, sophomore. We've looked at this before, I'm sure we have, and I want to say something like Excelsior and then Diamante. Yeah, but I've never understood. Like, again, it's one of those things. I don't understand how the. I found out the other day that GCSEs are not A to C, A to F anymore.
Yeah,
they're like
1 to 9,
10. Yeah, bewildering. And so they do this weird dance thing, and I don't know why. I guess because it can then technically be called like a step up sort of thing. But
yeah, I think that's the thing they're trying to show. This is the new music for the new kids sort of thing. But I think all their cultural references are about 20 years out.
There's just lots of stuff about booties.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. That's an overriding theme of this. Then they go to a cafeteria and someone calls them gay. Now, this looked like a rival gang. I don't recognize any of them from that spelling out the gangs earlier.
No, it was Alan Buttcrack, headphones, and the other one. Yeah.
Johnny Mouse Smith or whatever. But yeah, I didn't know whether they were supposed to be gay. Because they say you're gay, and then they say, "Oh, I'm not gay." But it's almost like we're not part of your gang, sort of thing. I don't know. I think
it was just rival. Were they not the new boys at the end? Did they not
so
win?
So many gangs.
Yeah,
I don't know. I wanted to know more about the back. Why don't you know more about the back?
No, they're not the new boys.
Oh, okay.
I recognise them anywhere. No, they do like
Your
a rap
notorious
battle thing.
hip hop heritage.
They do a robot rap battle now. Something lemon drizzle.
Yeah, there's a lot of jokes about penises and mothers and
yeah, like I can't be gay. I would stink finger wouldn't even fuck your mother sort of thing. And then there's this guy.
Hello, it's me, Pete Davidson. I'm here, and you'll see me one more time in this film, and that's it.
My motivation is that I've got a stinky finger.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, question: why is his finger stinky?
I assume it's up his bum.
That's what I was thinking.
I assume.
But I thought it could be something else. He could rest it in crab meat overnight or something. I don't know.
As long as it's fresh crab meat, it should be all right.
It's going to get bad over time.
Oh, I guess so, yeah.
He puts fresh crab meat down every Monday. Monday night is crab night in the stink finger household.
In the finger household.
I don't know. There's always that one.
The stink finger, his dad's gold finger.
And bad finger.
His Swedish cousin claw finger. Yeah, as a reference for 90s new metal people. But yeah, but on the front cover of this, it's like the first film starring Peter David. He's in it 2 scenes, and he doesn't speak, and he doesn't do anything apart from push his finger in someone's face.
Yep,
brilliant. Really shows off his acting chops. But yeah, they
just
win.
His chops.
He's crab, not chops.
Yeah, crab chops.
Get that on a t-shirt. Crab, not chops.
Make crab, not chops.
And so they as they're going round the rap battle, they throw it to Jason, and he freezes, and they all laugh at him and call him like a tiny needle dick and stuff.
That's sad.
That's the end of that scene.
But he's about to shine because then they go into Judi Dench's English class.
Jesus Christ, rapping granny.
Yeah. So it's a white character.
He did say well
like Judi Dench. And I got quite a lot of Money Supermarket adverts that Judi Dench seems to be in now because she needs a new kitchen or something. Yeah,
wow. That
and she's
golden
like
toilet's not going to buy itself.
She's like Q, sending off Money Supermarket agents to go and save people money because that's how things work in the capitalist society. And it's back, ladies and gentlemen. But she's like gangster talking, and she has Jay-Z's albums, and she'll know if they try and submit any rap lyrics.
Yeah, she's Rap Edie Falco. I'd written.
You see, that's clever.
But I have just seen that Avatar film, so I've got Edie Falco on the brain.
Well, I'm assuming she's supposed to be Michelle Pfeiffer in Dangerous Minds, isn't she?
Yes.
It's supposed to be, the name of it is based on a character in Airplane.
Yes, she's the I Speak Jive. She's got the same.
Yeah. I think she's got the same name. Billing.
She's got the same name as Liz.
Has she really? What a spot! Well done, boys.
They're ripping off Airplane already.
Man, I wish we were watching Airplane.
Grasping at better films desperately. As all their best jokes are behind them with that prison scene earlier.
They're all sitting there, and they're supposed to have handed in this thing, and Anastasia comes in. And she's like, "Oh, you're late, Miss Anastasia, you whack bitch." Like, this is probably dialogue. I can't remember. And she's like, "Yeah, I clean all this piss off." And she goes, "I bet you didn't even do the homework, did you, you slag?" And I was like, teachers can't talk to you like that. Like, I don't
It's
care.
America; they can do what they want.
Okay, just shoot them, innit?
No, but the thing is, they've gone through electric kind of metal detectors, so they can't get guns into school.
Just get a Glock, they're ceramic. And then Jason hands her a poem that he's written, and
which I've got a copy of.
Oh,
if you want it read out,
does it stink of piss?
Well, they play like music over it. So you finding the buttons?
I'm trying to find a sad music button.
All right, but I'll sort of set the scene. So he hands her this poem, and then the teacher's like, "Well, you go and read it out. Then read it out to the class. You've written this really good poem." Okay, so then he writes this: admiring from afar, courting in secret, wishing for my star, my prayers to keep it. You are my star, in the safety of my dreams. You are my star, beauty gazing for what it seems. Like an eternity, too fearful for speaking, too nervous for flirting. my words escape me. Yet flourish from the page, maybe it's not my season. My love ferments with age, I guess I must wait. I confess I must say, you are my star. You are my star, but I'm a glimmer in the galaxy of your existence. Yeah, that's a lot of syllables. But I go unnoticed from a distance, burned by your heat. I've yearned for so long, for you without me is like a singer with no song, and yet you are my star. So if that was supposed to be a sonnet, a sonnet's supposed to be 14 lines, that's 25, so it's not a sonnet.
Oh,
and then I
it's a
had a
sonnet
look
and a
at
half,
the rhyming
mate.
structure. The rhyming structure is supposed to be classically A-B-A-B. It goes A-B-A-B, A-B-A-B if you're generous and letting rhyme star with star, A-B-C-B, A-B-A-C, A-B-B-C, A-B-C-C. So
I mean, Kid Rock got away with rhyming things and things, so you know, whatever.
It's stinky. It's a stinky.
I think it
pile.
would be an all right poem if it was read by a person who was actually an actor and could like read it in the correct way. But this girl is not an actor; she's one of the in and out girls or whatever.
It's supposed to be an iambic pentameter, and it's got like a line that is twice the size of all the other lines. It's stinky.
The
It's
children,
poem.
James. Jesus Christ. God, you'd be like a 1 on your GCSE, wouldn't you? Out. Unless one's good, in which case 9. I don't know which way around it goes. But yeah, and then the teacher's like, that was shizzle, doggle. Like, it's fucking awful. It's like that rapping granny bit in the fucking Wedding Singer. It always makes my flesh creep. Rest of the film, lovely. That bit, horrible. And as they're walking away, Jason's walking away and Anastasia chases him down and says, oh, thanks for that. I got an A because she graded it that quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone else's poetry, and no one else read theirs out, I guess, did they?
So it's quite an easy decision to make.
Easy decision to make. Yeah, you've read it out. I know what it is. Then he starts like the cowboy's walking along with no top on for some reason next to it, just with his hat over his dick. And
Even
I don't know what Patrick
jeans
Warburton's been up to
No.
on set. Like,
He does say, well, I think he said, I can't remember. Doesn't matter.
none of it matters, James.
His mum comes to pick him up at this point, and there's a confrontation with the black gang that hang outside who are way too old for the school.
Right.
God.
Before we get to that, Anastasia comes and he goes, right, he's yelling at imaginary cowboy, and then he goes, give me your number, like that to her. And she goes, okay. And I'd be like, no, rude. And then also the other rangers who appear to be fucking losers because they only hang around with themselves. There's no girls with them ever or anything. Like, and they're like, oh, have you got the pants yet? And I'm like, this is awful.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Also,
if it was,
who gets
if it
a
was
number these
1982,
days?
I'd allow it. But it's not. You
They're
can't do that.
probably on like some social network inside that I've never even heard of. It's 2014. Nobody gets a number of anyone.
Yeah, that's true. Then Jason's mum arrives and what's he called? He's called like
Pretty guy.
MC Lovely Locks or something.
Yeah.
Lovely looks. Yeah, something like that.
I'd be great. If any rap people want to hire me to name them, I am available. £2.50 per name.
He's got like a Che Guevara hairstyle, so I just called him Harry.
I think it's supposed to be like Jerry Curly.
It is supposed to be Jerry Curly, and he's got the Compton hat. It's the old Ice Cube thing.
Okay.
Yeah, he looks
Isn't
like
it? It's the Ice
Eazy-E.
Cube thing.
Yeah.
And at no point did I realise, until he took the glasses off, who it was. It was only when he takes the glasses off very briefly did I realise who it was.
That's right, boys and girls. It's Bill Cosby. No, it's Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
Would have been better if it was Bill Cosby. We'd have some stink fingers in the audience then, wouldn't we?
I've written here, Kevin Hart in a Rick James wig. They should have never give you money. What did the 5 fingers say to the face?
And God bless him. Like, Kevin Hart's given it his all in this, but
I assume that your man has got some photographs of him being just awful to old people when
reamed by a
pretending
pig.
to cross the street and then just leaving them in the middle of the road to get run over by rich fat Americans in Cadillacs or something.
Yeah, because he is, again, I would say, like one of the best things in this book. He's not given a lot to work with.
No.
My favourite visual gag involves him, and he has nothing to do with that visual gag. It's just it is what it is. Coming later on, we might remember to mention it. I don't know.
There's 4 of these. We'll call them gangbangers hanging around outside. That's the correct American term for it. They're not all bumming each other.
I'm just waiting for him to say it in a South African accent.
Put this Glock up your anus. So what do you
That's
do?
awkward.
I had to start feeding it in. Yeah, but they're hanging around this school constantly, and like they've been yelling at girls, and the girls have been like sassing them back and stuff, and that's great. But I don't. Why is this a 1992 Boys in the Hood sort of? It's 2014. We've like I believe American culture has moved on since then. I don't know. But yeah.
Not.
So we get this thing, and the mama's trying to walk through to bring her boy home, and then there's a thing, and she pulls a gun on him.
And the principal's also there for a bit.
The principal runs out, and then the big fat mum does like, "You want to come and ride this?" Woo, shakes her ass around, and the principal like does sex talk, and then everyone like.
Horny school.
I think I'm beaten, lads. I think I'm tapping out.
Yeah, it's nothing. That's the thing. It's nothing. Like
it's not jokes.
It's like I've written here. Is this urban Monty Python?
No, Monty Python has like a wit and surrealness to it.
But is that because we're white?
Possibly. I don't know. I tried to look for like. I don't want to say I based my reviews on names because that doesn't mean a fucking thing, does it?
No.
But I tried to look for like a mixed balance of reviews, and there are people who love this film, 10 out of 10, and I can't tell whether they're being sarcastic or not. And that's the problem. I don't think it is. I don't know. I don't know whether it's just like people that like Mrs. Brown's Boys, but
I feel like this is
like you know what I mean.
For school kids, like, oh, look what they've made the principal say, sort of thing. Yeah. It's just, it's not.
Oh, he's gonna shag that lad's mum. Great.
Yeah. Anyway, if you didn't think the film could get any worse, we get the officers, penis, and
penis. It's French.
She says, and the other one, in hot pursuit of somebody.
And is it not called like Tarsi or Lacey? Like it's Cagney and Lacey portmanteau together.
Yeah,
isn't
that's
it?
yeah.
Lagney, they're called.
And
and that's something, I guess.
It's hitting those cultural milestones, though, isn't
this
it?
Is the thing. It's like a witty commentary on police brutality. They both pull out their guns and advance on a stopped car full of black people, and it's like, why?
I mean, it's right, but then immediately they both turn out to be fucking idiots. She turns into like a shit version of her from Hunt for the Wilder People. I will catch you, Ricky Baker. I'm like the Terminator. Yeah, right? And he just eats a load of these pot brownies and whatever grape juice. I'm trying to think what
grape juice. It's basically wine. It's basically wine. Is
fortified wine.
Is it not the thing where they put like cough mixture in that made Lil Wayne die or whatever?
What?
No. Okay.
No. I need to know what.
Isn't there a thing called like fucking hell? This is going to be like the most awkward white people nonsense ever. Is it not called like slizurp or something? And it's like stuff and cough mixture, and it gets you fucked up.
Oh wow, cool!
But I think
I'm going to try that.
I think there's a rapping man called Lil Wayne. Not Little Wayne. And I think he got hospitalized because he drank so much of it, like his body went into shock or some shit. This could all be wrong, and please correct me if I'm wrong, people, because I'm. It's not my area of expertise, but I try to keep my hand in with the urban music scene. Jesus
anyway, he takes a bunch of stuff off this kid and just eats it, drinks what he wants.
And she's going, you can't do that, Ricky Baker. And then the kids just peel out and like they go, and run back and are in active pursuit of this car. It's a white Rolls Royce, apparently.
All right.
She says it's a white Rolls Royce.
Yeah, and I didn't think it was. I was kind of like, that doesn't look like a roller, but okay.
It could be one of the newer ones, but I'm not a car person either. But it looked more like a Bentley sort of thing to me. But whatever.
And I think that's just to show that the police they're out there. They're getting more fucked up as they go along. It gets worse. The gang that were just outside the school, they're now curb crawling next to the Latino girls, the pretty girls, and they keep calling them bitches, sort of teasing them and stuff. And the girls walk up to their house, this family home, where there's men just like flexing and
literally dudes lifting weights like Muscle Beach in Verona. Again, I've watched some of The Wire. I never saw this happening, but whatever. That's Baltimore, isn't it? I guess it's, And so, right. Now, I thought Junior was her brother, the big lad.
They do make a bit of fun out of this, like what everyone's relation is within the family.
But then there's another guy, because like Junior left the set, or was like, did we ever see Junior again?
Yeah, I'm sure we do a bit later
do we
on.
see him at the very end?
Yeah.
Does he not? Is he not busting out at the very, very end? Is he not?
Yeah, I'm sure he does. Yeah.
Okay. But in this scene, there's another guy there who's also her brother, and he's like, "What did you say? Call my sister?" And
I think he's actually one of the most famous people in it. Hang on, what's his name?
Wilmer Valderrama.
Yes,
that 70s show.
From that 70s show, yeah.
And he's
also in Encanto.
He's in that 70s show, and he's not in this film.
He's
barely in this.
He stands there with a do-rag on, but yeah. And they go, and then Kevin Hart pulls a gun out, and then there's like this whole slapstick sequence where Kevin Hart gets.
Is this your favorite bit? Is it this?
Mine?
Bit? No.
Oh, Mark, is this your favorite bit?
Yeah.
Well, no, my favorite bit kind of comes on the back of this.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, they pull him out, and then like they all punch him a bit, and then they start dropping like the weightlifting weights on him, which was proper bottom slapstick, and I was like, okay, I'm fine with that. But like his legs weren't going up and stuff; it wasn't comedy, like.
Yeah.
I
have written is Mexican on black racism okay? Question mark.
I mean, no racism is okay, Mark.
They never properly.
No, I'm well aware of that. But
except Scottish against everyone else.
Yeah, that's okay. Welsh against English. That's fine.
Everyone against the English. I'm fine with that.
This film seems to think that certain types of racism are okay because it just wants to make everybody happy.
I like that Clint Eastwood film, Gran Torino, where the message is essentially racism's fine.
Yeah,
if you do it,
racism's okay.
if you do it with a wing, then
you're
it's
old,
all right.
You can be racist. It's okay. Shut up, Grandma. Get back in the bedroom.
Get back on stage yelling at a chair, Clint. Menace. So yeah, they beat the piss out of him, and then he manages to. They pull a gun out on him. They go to shoot him. They pull the trigger, shoot him in. So
that man would have been a murderer, straight up would have murdered
Flacco's killed loads of people, mate. You don't care. And he turns out he hasn't put any bullets in his gun.
Oh, there's a Mexican wrestler in the mix as well.
I think that's Efren Ramirez puts like a luchador mask on and drops the weakest looking elbow I've ever seen.
I was going okay, it's got something.
I thought he was going to come up off the ceiling or off the roof, go full luchador.
I was waiting for Zorro to come out of the side. What are the Mexican things?
And then someone put a hat on the floor and go around it. Racist. No, it's just like all the cliches you could have in there. They done and like whatever. And then they drive off because he manages to get him back in the car, and he's like, "You pricks." And they drive off. Is this where Jason phones?
Yeah. So the Rangers are messing about, and they hand him a cordless landline phone. You remember them?
2014.
So he calls it, doesn't he?
Oh, because his mum's only got a pager.
Oh, yeah, that was a bit weird.
They made a joke about that.
Yeah,
and
they make
a
joke out of it.
In 2014, no one's going to remember what a pager is. Like,
oh, that's another reference to The Wire, isn't it, really? But, yeah.
Possibly. Yeah.
So he calls this number, and it goes through to her dad, because they've also got a cordless landline phone.
She claims to have lost her phone, but her dad is George Lopez.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they feed him some searing lines later on.
Who are you? How do you know my daughter? Okay, I'll get her. The spoiler phone.
No. I mean the strident racism later on.
I was getting to that. I was just
very
giving him
monosyllabic
his opening dialogue. I mean, I assume he was paid in either drugs or whatever, because no one seems like involved in this film. Everyone doesn't want to be in it. Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's the editing, but like,
yeah,
the timing on the jokes is just beats off. Like, it's weird.
Yeah, I don't know if it's also like the combined effect of it. Like if the principal's proper hamming it up. If he was the only character doing that, then it'd be funny, or it'd be funnier.
Yeah, but because some people are and some people aren't.
Yeah, it's just all terrible. But my favorite thing about this scene is that just on in the background there's a song, and I want to know what it is because it's just like all I've written down for this bit is "fuck the Macarena." That's good.
Whoa!
I think they list all types of songs, but the only bit that I could remember was "fuck the Macarena." I was it's about time somebody.
Yeah,
I think
Los Del Rio have been riding on their laurels for far too long. Yes, yeah. But yeah, he basically says, "Oh, I'll see you at the school orgy tonight, then." And she goes, "Yeah, I guess you will."
Yeah, and she's a bit weird about it. And then it's time for racist dad to get all
Then
racist.
she hangs up the phone, and her dad, George Lopez, says, "Is he black?" And she goes, "Yeah." And he goes, "You're a young Latina woman. You're incredibly fertile."
Yeah.
And then this got all incelly, and I was like, "Oh fuck."
He's going to move on. He's going to get what he wants, and he's going to move on. And you're going to be stuck, single mother. And she was like, "Yeah, but you got mom pregnant at high school and all this kind of stuff." He's like, "Yeah, but I stuck around because I'm Mexican." Fucking hell.
And then it goes around the room, and it's like, well, all these people are Latino as well, and there's they do this whole thing about there's this one guy nobody can remember how he's related to the family, and that was kind of good.
He's just there.
Yeah, but yeah, it's never a proper send up of racial relations, is it? Anyway, it's time for the big lock in. I think we're about 30 minutes to the end at this point.
A lot happens in this last half hour.
There was a lot of stuff I wish I could have fast forwarded through.
I had it on 1.25 speed, as is
no,
my way,
we didn't have that luxury on my viewer.
If you'd have watched it on Joe's illegal hooky stream, where there's a lady's bottom in the right hand corner, sometimes you just click on it. So they all meet at the dance / orgy / talent contest. There's a lot going on. Right? There must be at least 3 rooms.
One of the songs has got a lot of Family Guy references in it, and I think it's because Patrick Warburton's in it.
Oh, had it?
I didn't even listen to the music because it's
something like something Peter Griffin, and it's like that over and over again. And it must be because in it. Maybe that's how they managed to get him to stick around and not just leave.
I think they went, there's loads of young but of age women, Patrick. You want to walk around like we've paid you in fucking blow, mate. Come on.
They introduce a game, 7 Minutes of Heaven.
7 Minutes in Heaven, which is you randomly put your names in a hat and then you have to go and sit in a cupboard together for 7 minutes.
Now, I could have told you the very, very start of this scene exactly who was getting drawn out against who, because it's a framing device. It's a plot device. So I know for a fact they'd put, like the FA Cup draw, they'd put all the balls in together, but they'd put 2 balls in boiling hot water for 20 minutes beforehand, so you knew which ones were getting picked out.
I think Day says we'll rig it for you, actually.
Yeah, I think they do.
But first of all, the one of the Rangers who has the chest tattoos goes in with Big Booty Betty.
Big Booty
Becky, yeah. Sorry. And then they sit there and she's like, I ain't doing nothing. We've got 7 minutes. We're going to just ride this out. I'm like, this is the least sexy thing I've ever seen. But then he charms her by
he says that she's got nice dimples when she smiles or something, and that's it. That's the key to a woman's life.
And then literally she takes the top off and we see some ass, and I'm like, But I did like the fact there's 2 minutes left. That's all I need. And I was like, you having a cigarette afterwards, are you, son? And then, then they put in Jason and Anastasia, and Patrick Warburton's in there as well.
Yeah, which is good because he's just laying there. She knows about they called it Pantygate, I think. Although I wrote it down, and in my sort of scroll, it looks like pomegranate. She knows about pomegranate. So that would be a bit more left field,
tasty.
Wouldn't it?
I just wanted to tell you,
nothing's going to happen.
On my way to the wrestling a while back on the bus, I watched a woman eat a pomegranate whole, skin and everything.
What?
Yeah, I was disturbed.
What, like a turnip?
No, she peeled it, but didn't eat the lovely, delicious red fruit inside. She had the pith, the bitter pith. And the skin I've never eaten because I'm not mental.
It's like eating banana skin.
She was on the phone to her sister while she was doing it, and I was like, is this a thing? Yeah.
Maybe she was so distracted by the scintilling conversation that she didn't realise she was eating the bit she shouldn't eat.
Oh, but yeah. And he goes, oh, well, I respect you for that and stuff. And let's just sit here for 7 minutes in abject silence and think about our life choices.
He's like, well, actually, I respect you more for, not giving in to that. And she's like, oh, well, you've won me over with that. Very, very low standards all around. In the middle of all of this, there's cop shenanigans where the cop's high and is pissing around because he says that he's like R. Kelly.
I'm R. Kelly, bitch, and I just written yow.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
not
even in 2014.
I
why
think
would
the
you say
rumours
that?
were still there in 2014. Yeah.
I've also
but he
written
does.
down
He does do a
Fatsuit Ken
look
as well.
He does do a.
There's that.
What?
Fatsuit Ken, because I didn't know what his name, but it's Nick Cannon in a fat suit.
It is Nick Cannon in a fat suit. Cheese, 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 cheese.
Oh,
cheese.
That made me laugh. That, to be fair,
It's like, I like cheese, but what
the
is
rapping
this?
song about cheese. Yeah, it was dope.
Cheese.
But yeah, he looks across at not Dina from Superstore, and like it goes all like at the end of Deadpool, all the little farmyard creatures come running in and stuff.
Yes.
I thought that was quite fun. But then he like tries to rub his arse on her, doesn't he? And then starts weeing on her. And I thought, it's gone very R. Kelly, hasn't it? This.
Yeah.
And then
Only
in
she
the
was
middle of all
14,
that,
you fucking.
they hit Jason's mum for some reason.
Oh, she's out in the street, just threatening to shoot someone's windows out for a reason.
Yeah,
that's
there's a
never explained.
shakedown. She is drugs and stuff. She's a drug dealer.
And then they run her over. He thinks it's Bigfoot, which was kind of funny, but then also whatever.
There's a lot of fat shaming in this.
I think Officer Penis says they'll just put the body in the boot and cover it up again.
Yeah,
but maybe I dreamt that.
No, it's a
distinct possibility, isn't it?
She's more worried about the car, isn't she? Oh, the car's got a dent in it and stuff like that. Yeah,
but then also in the talent contest part of it, what are they called? The New Boys with a Z are doing some raps.
I thought they were the judges or something. The New Boys.
Did they not do a rap at the start? And then I don't fucking care.
They
mate,
compare it.
It was all shite, to be honest.
There's a hearty rendition I've written of "Freak My Shits."
You leave my shits alone. They're fragile.
There's the Latino gang are waiting outside to collect the money from Day.
But then the Juicy Girls come on and do a song. New Girls. What are they fucking called?
The Sweet Girls.
Sweet Girls. Yeah.
They have like some sort of R&B offer, which I thought felt very late 90s reference.
I mean, but then the dancing is very step-uppy, but it's not.
Yeah. Like,
the dancing in Step Up is really good. The rest of the film is shite, but the dancing is a tremendous.
Mate, they're not even pretending to lip sync at this point.
No, it doesn't matter. But they're all doing a song about, like, let's have a go on your cock. Hey. Right, and it's like that, and then the boys get on, and they're like, vaginas, hey, booty. And it's
very pirate themed.
It's very pirate themed, yeah.
It's my Yorkshire accent.
Meanwhile, the principal's going down on Mrs. Johnson and takes the time to put that on the speaker system. It's just awful. Sure. It's just an awful.
Yeah, I forgot about that, actually.
There's another song, Tipping on My Dick, where it's just that.
It's just that, yeah, nothing else.
How is that? Do you just like put the money on it?
I don't know.
Do you pierce it like a service spike?
Roland Rivron hosts wanking for coins.
That's a reference.
Yeah.
If you've not read that book, I just really recommend you buy it.
It's all free online. TVGoHome.com.
TV Go Home. But then the Rangers come out and they do their song, and they throw it to Jason, who does his rap, and everyone loses their fucking shit. And I'm like,
He does, yeah. Then they all do flips, which
I'm a fan of flips, mate. Do a backflip, bro.
He does like a romantic gesture to Anastasia as well.
He does this.
Anastasia, sorry.
Anastasia, call her by her real name, Stu.
But the Sweet Girls win.
For some reason, Sweet Girls win, and then as they're leaving at midnight,
they don't even get like a massive check sort of thing. They just get 20 grand in cash.
And a recording contract, which means nothing. Even in 2014, a recording contract meant nothing. Right?
No.
Been listening to a lot of anyway. And as they leave, Jason and the SAs are Jason and the Rangers are set upon by the SAs. Flacco, El Matador.
Jeff.
These are literal names. I don't
Nacho
know.
Libre's there.
Poncho 7. And they go, right, if you haven't got the money, we're going to kill you then. And I think they punch, what's he called? Day in the tummy again. Yeah. That's 2 punches in a day he's had, which is not good for your tummy. One of them killed Harry Houdini. But then, for some reason, the gangster boys, right? For some reason, Kevin Day's got like a, you know, like in the Marx Brothers film Duck Soup, when he gets that vase on his head and they just draw a face on it. Like that happens for some reason, and I can't remember why. And they do a drive-by, right? And everyone's like, and they shoot and they shoot. And then one of the gangsters fires a bullet. Jason is like, this is your moment of truth. I think the cowboy is like, this is your moment to prove yourself, cowboy. And he jumps in front of the bullet.
It gets him in the bum, I think.
I always dive into everything else first, mate. Safest, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, unless it's Spike. Anyway, Anastasia gives them the money.
Yeah, she's like,
the rest of
this. I don't care.
The rest of the Sugar Plum crew are going to be furious.
Yeah, they might have something to say about it.
Yeah,
sequel.
The bald one especially.
Oh yeah, she looks like a right nasty piece of work. She.
Oh, also, I
skinhead.
I remembered when they phoned her house before. I think Day goes, make her put the phone to her fanny, and I was like, what's that going to do for anyone? Oh, great! I could just hear nothing. And then Anastasia goes, oh, you are a good lad, really. Let's do deep kissing.
And it's the bit at the start of the film where the cops are there.
No, she then goes, oh, here's my pants.
Does she?
She gives him her pants.
Well, she just like whips them, or she'd taken them off earlier and stowed them in her pocket.
Before she went on stage.
Right.
Free and easy, innit? That's how I live my life on stage. Sometimes not even pants. But he's in the car, he's in the ambulance. So they give them to the tattooed one of the Rangers, who then snatches them out of his hand, and I think Day takes them and sniffs them and puts them in his pocket. And I'm like, this is all kinds of gross. And I'm kind of hoping Anastasia just did big farts in them before she handed them over.
Skids.
Big old fucking Maginot lines of Todd down the back of it.
Maginot lines.
But then, like, as the ambulance drives off, fucking, oh god, this is nearly as long as the film, lads. Mama shows up and is like, who shot my baby? And then breaks the fourth wall.
She's accusing people in the cinemas.
I liked this bit. It was kind of, you better not bootleg this shit. Why would you? Why?
It got limited cinema release.
Yeah, too much release.
It reminded me of, you know, the end bit of Scrooged, but if it was shit.
Yeah, yeah.
But like, she turns the camera around and then all the crew are there and stuff. And it's nice, and I imagine it was a very lovely set to work on. But do I also assume, because she's probably one of the very few proper actors in this that's actually had a career as an actor, perhaps this was kind of semi-improv. Maybe it was just her, the director, and a couple of other people like the camera crew that knew about it. Yeah. And most people, because there's kind of like a look between a couple of
you've been punked
crew members that were like, oh, what's going on here?
Oh, she's doing a thing.
It whiffs rapidly of that. Yeah.
But I like that, and that's fine.
Oh no, I'm always a big fan of like weird improv at the end of stuff, apart from the last film. But yeah, and that's the end of the film, ladies and gentlemen. Boy, we got there somehow.
But there's Nick Cannon in a fat suit doing his thing after, and I just stopped it straight.
Disappointingly, not mentioning cheese once.
I don't know what it was.
I stopped it. I was like, nope, no more for me. I did the end of the film, and that's enough. Gentlemen, James, your score for this.
Oh, do I have to?
You have to score it because you have to do the scores for next year's quiz.
That's right. Yeah.
Katie said the other day. Katie's working on an out of 10 system, where I work on an out of 5 system. So if you want, I can move to a 10 system if you want to make it easier.
It was always out of 15, but with like bronze, silver, and gold.
That's what I've tried to explain to Katie, but she wasn't having it.
That's what I'm doing. As long as I'm consistent.
Well, she lives in your house. You explain it to her.
Okay.
This isn't in your house. What is she chewing on the drywall? And is she, get out of the crawl space, Katie?
Bang on the wall with a broom.
The hallmark of greatness is coming from within the house. It's not as
the scoring is coming from inside the house.
It's surely not as bad as German anti-vaxxers, but it's not that much better. So I'm going to give it a 2 bronze Maginot Line scarred panties in that case.
Okay, Mark.
2 copper full body casts.
Oh, see, it gave me big Breaking Legs vibes.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't
But
want
you
to
weren't
mention
there
that,
for the
but-
bad days of Breaking
No,
Legs.
no. But remember, I've been a
Neither of us
listener
were.
since the very, very beginning.
I know, and I appreciate it. So I'm gonna have to go. I think it was better. So I'm gonna give it 3 bronze white babies in glasses.
That's fair. It deserves
I love
no
that
more
white
than
baby.
that. It can thank you for those 3.
And I hope I get to work for that bronze baby one day.
Me too. Me too, sir.
That is true. It did have a good joke in there. So that was a thing. It was the same year as Secret Past, or the Christmas mystery thing that we did just before Christmas. You know, the one where it was like a little riddle and there's a post office involved. It was the same year as
with the
that.
Scrabble!
Yeah, of course.
With the Scrabble.
Lanky
Oh
Tramp!
man, God, I wish we'd watched that again.
Well,
I
there you go.
long for those days.
Halcyon days, indeed.
Scrabble, a harpoon.
It's also known as School of Dance in Russian, which I think would set somebody's hopes up the wrong way. I don't have any budgetary information for this, but I just went with the £2,000 that they had in there, which is worth £1,600. That's enough for 5. Oh, right. So I looked up fat suits after this because, to be honest, after this film, I didn't really want to stay in the world of this for too long.
No, I know.
So,
You don't want to dip
So the
dip your
facts
toe
are quite
too
short.
low.
I looked up fat suits. You can get some shonky looking ones for about 35 quid, or kitting out 45 people. But then I found on Chinese eBay that you can get
Chiba.
you can get ×5 festival party show walking inflatable jellyfish octopus sea animal costume suit cartoon, and it is glorious.
Have you
I'll
got
to
a
send you
picture?
pic-
We'll put that up.
on.
Yeah. Also, that's just a lot of words you just said.
It's an
Jellyfish,
octopus, essentially.
seahorse, octopus, meringue, I heard.
It's
I'd be
got
terrible on the
big,
cryptic
wacky,
factor.
wavable, inflatable arm fling shoe band.
I
sort of
am
things.
looking for fun things to take, fun inverted commas things to take to Kendall Calling with me this year. So yeah.
Well, there you go.
Let's do that,
No, it
yeah.
comes in a pack of 5, and it looks enormous.
One for every
it's just
day
a
of the week
big
and 2
purple
spares.
squid.
Yeah.
So yeah. So there
you and
go.
Rachel can walk around in them and it'd be easy to
bet.
spot in a crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was written, directed, and starring Nick Cannon.
I can't believe this was written.
Oh, on the
Yeah.
back of a fag packet.
Yeah,
I was
literally.
surprised there's no characters called fucking Woodbine or Benson and Hedges in it.
20 milligrams of tar.
There's a series of facts about him which descend very rapidly. So he's done quite a lot. He's been in Men in Black
He's
2.
done quite a few. There's no
Yeah,
doubt about
he was
that.
in Brooklyn Nine-Nine as well. He didn't do a bad job in that. He was reportedly paid $5 million to appear on The Masked Singer, possibly as a giant octopus sea animal costume.
A massive penis.
He said in an interview that he went to Monte Vista High himself and claimed to have lost his virginity at a lock-in. So this is like some sort of trauma that he's turned into. for
I
want of a better
refuse
word,
to
art.
believe that any school board would get a load of horny teenagers and lock them in a room together.
He said that it happened at Monte Vista High School, which is where it's set. So I don't know if it was filmed on location, but it does say Monte Vista High School. So
I
there you
went
go.
to Swan Vista High School.
It's got big spare vibes. This, but yeah, he's I don't want to dwell on it too much, but he is known for having 12 children with 6 different women. It gets very complicated in the numbering system on Wikipedia because
I'm
it
hoping
goes
they're all
back
twins.
to the top. And,
Oh, right.
rap
Like
career
Matt.
commenced with a collaboration with R. Kelly. That's probably the R. Kelly reference that we get.
Was
There's
that-
also a lot of trash talk about Kim Kardashian, and he briefly dated Kim Kardashian.
Is that when he wrote the banger, what was it, Tipping My Penis?
I tip my penis to you.
Good day, sir.
And he was also accused of Kanye-style anti-Semitism in 2020. Looks very similar to the comments that Kanye said is from the same sort of ideology. But he very quickly apologized for it. So there you go.
Right.
Yeah. Let's see who's next. Amber Rose did Marijuana, I think. I've only just found out.
I thought
the
it was
woman
like,
with the cropped
Mary
hair.
wanted what? But like marijuana.
Yeah. Now I say it out loud. Hey.
Yeah, she's the skinhead that beats
All
the
right.
Asian kids.
She said in an interview with The Source And I think it was meant with passion, but when you sort of like write it down, it just reads so deadpan. It was just really cool. Me and Nick are good friends. Just being on a set with all those comedians was just hilarious. We laughed until we cried each day.
Wow.
So when you say it like that,
on
That's
the
true, I can spin anything.
CD standards in that, yeah.
But
on
I
the
mean, she
subject
did
of Amber
say-
Rose,
Oh, go
which
on.
is two first names, twat.
No,
Rachel.
Not two first names. A
Yes.
plant, and a thing that dinosaur mosquitoes are hidden in.
Twat.
Twat.
Yeah. So Rachel
She could equally be called Bo Resin Daffodil.
and I think one of her children might actually be called
Oh.
that. Yeah. So Rachel decided to play me some of her music because she's
Alright.
a quote unquote rapper.
Okay.
Is what she is. Yeah, and her stuff is. I mean, she played I think 20 seconds of it, and then fast forwarded maybe a further kind of 30 seconds, and it was the same noise and the same words. And she did that on all 4 of the top Spotify songs,
Oh.
and it all sounds the same for all of that time.
I will say though, on this picture on IMDb, there's fucking chebs, mate.
Yeah, you could look her up on Reddit and see further chebs.
No.
I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't recommend it. It's not.
It reminds me,
to.
there was they got a lady in for NXT who was supposed to be this new hot rapping lady, and she came out to the wrestling ring and did the song, and it was the most cringy, awkward mumble thing ever. And then we looked her up, and she had 637 plays a month on Spotify.
Oh.
But she had massive knockers, and I think that's why she was hired. Right? Yeah, and I think that might be a similar thing. If I can be asked to find some, Mark, I might try, because I think we're allowed to put so much music in shows now.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can do. I've done it with Facts and Lies. As long as you're talking about it, you're talking over it. Rachel did send me the name of her kid, or read me out the name of her kid. James, if you don't have it,
I don't know.
See what I can find.
Freezer Pop Johnson.
Oh, well, the only other thing I'd say about, just while you're looking that up, is that in this interview, she did say that Nick Cannon is a really laid-back director, as if you couldn't tell. They did seem to have quite a lot of fun. So I suppose it wasn't that they just drew people in, but...
Yeah. By Wiz Khalifa, which I think might be drugs. The perfectly normally named Sebastian Taylor Thomas with a Z.
That's
and
fine.
The other one, did you get the other one?
Yeah, I got it here.
Flash Electric Alexander Edwards.
Starts
Which I
off
think
shit, finishes strong. Yeah.
Might be a website address. That's how you find people on Reddit, isn't it?
That's I'm gonna need to finish this soon, lads, because I need to go for a Wiz Khalifa. Is he Mia Khalifa's brother?
That is the thing I asked Rachel. She went, "Who's Mia Khalifa?" And I went, "Doesn't matter.
Don't Google that."
It's nobody I've ever looked up on my search history. I promise.
He is now a prominent one of those people. Yes.
Yeah.
Go on, James. What have we got?
I didn't do everyone because Bobby J. Johnson, star of 30 Rock, That's So Raven. He's also done Shark Tale and Brother Bear 2, Return of the King. Also, Miracles on 125th Street, which is a TV movie, another Nick Cannon film, which follows a Harlem rapper who wants to confront his past on Christmas Eve by returning to his family's church after battling drug addiction.
Could somebody add that to their calendar? For
Yeah, I was going to say,
this year, please.
No, we'll do it for half Christmas, because I ain't using that for full Christmas. Jesus.
It doesn't deserve it.
Miracle on, what was it, 100...
Call me Jay.
125th.
Call me Scrooge. Yeah.
My name is Scrooge, and I'm here to say.
So, Cat Williams as well was Darren, and I thought he was probably quite a good representative person to put in this, because you look at anyone who's in this film, and they're all in very similar films. So his top-rated film is 5.8 rated Friday After Next, which is an Ice Cube Christmas film. Working as security guards, Craig and Day Day, very similar name, run into the thief who stole their Christmas presents. I feel like I've got to see it, but then...
Hang on, Friday After Next is a Christmas film?
Yeah,
apparently.
I've seen all the... I've seen this Friday.
Next
There's
Friday.
Next Friday and Friday After Next.
Right, okay.
I guess it's
and
difficult
then
to know
a
if
month on
film is a
Friday.
Christmas film.
He's also in Scary Movie 5.
Not
Epic
next Friday,
Movie.
but the week after.
Friday week.
His trademark is hats, apparently. It just says
That's
hats.
not a trademark.
Well, we work for Fred Durst, so fuck off.
Well, yeah. His cousin is Ludacris. So,
I imagine he is.
Not a visible man.
My cousin Ludacris as well. But...
Not a visible man.
Anyway.
What school did you go to, Jim? Just out of interest.
Oh, you went to Geoffrey Chaucer School along with the Betrayer.
Yeah. Anyway, finishing on, Jessica Curson, who was Officer Penis. Do you want to give your fact?
Not
Do you want to give your fact? Let's see if we've got the same one.
Oh, it is. It's Zach Braff's sister, isn't it?
Stepsister, yes.
Oh, stepsister. Oh, man. Did they?
I don't know that's such a big reveal.
Did they put their beds on top of one another so that they've got so much more room for activity?
There are a lot of people in this that have been in at least an episode of Scrubs, so that just made me wonder if that's the reason. But yeah.
I've seen about 4 episodes of Scrubs, and it's 4 too many. And I'm the only person that seems to have that opinion.
Scrubs is fine, but hasn't aged particularly well.
No, also the producer
is problematic now.
Like, you've got to feel for white men, though. You know, white men don't have a lot, do they?
Just all the power and all the money and the women and the sugar.
Yeah.
And, those are your Stinky James facts. Anyway, that's your lot.
So, with the reviews for this, a lot of 10 out of 10s I found across the board. But I think it might be people who this is the first film they've ever seen. One guy was advertising his own film in the review as well. So
is that next week's?
No, it was it was called like Slimestro, and I couldn't find it anywhere when I tried to Google it.
Message him because I want to watch it.
Slimestro sounds like the type of thing you take to clear yourself. But yeah,
right out. It will all come out of you like frog spawn. 1 out of 10. Awful, just awful. By Restored 4 in September 2014. So they watched it straight after the release. This looked like it was going to be an okay watch. I was expecting something along the lines of Don't Be a Menace or the Friday trilogy, but was sadly way below par. The acting was unconvincing despite the likes of Kevin Hart, Mike Epps, George and Cat Williams. The plot could have worked out a whole lot better, and the casting of the main characters also sucked. Really not sure what Amber Rose was doing in a high school movie as a student, because apparently she must be like 40-odd. I don't know.
Well, I think she's my age. Yeah.
Okay. The high points for the movie for me were the musical performances and the dance routines. Other than that, I really want to forget everything about this movie. I really hope Nick Cann's next attempt at directing will be a whole lot better than this. And that's fair enough. Like, I think that's more than a 1 out of 10 myself, personally.
I think, his memory's been restored 4 times. That's the name, isn't it? He keeps forgetting the film and then keep going back to it.
I didn't want to put any of the 10 out of 10s in because they felt disingenuous.
Yeah.
So 7 out of 10. Dance! By ABC Vision 12, July 2014. So right on the release, I think. Nick Cannon directs School Dance, a coming-of-age comedy. In it, Jason is enamored with Anastasia and would do anything to stand out and be noticed in her world. This movie has some funny parts, but feels like it is a mix of bits with a bunch of every stereotype imaginable. A cameo by many well-known stars, even the current It comedian guy, Kevin Hart. Mike Epps plays a funny, quirky, horny Principal Rogers, and George Lopez is a Latino dad. That's it. Latino dad. That's all you get. A peek to the simpler times of high school, when all the guys wanted to do was hook up and the girls wanted to feel special. The crescendo of the movie is the one night of true debauchery, the school dance. Meh, meh, meh. Seems like a blend of other past greats like House Party and Friday. Makes you glad you are no longer a teenager and just to be grown and sexy. Their words, not mine. Take a trip back to high school and watch School Dance. I am sure you will get at least a few laughs out of this movie.
That is true. I did get... I don't know if it goes as far as a few. I got maybe 2 laughs out of it.
I think in that prison scene was all my laughs, and then I spent them all, and I couldn't go and buy any more tokens for laughs. And finally, 2 out of 10. Ooh, by Jim Tonight 16. Only a couple of funny parts with Kevin Hart's click. Rest of the movie was cringy, especially the talent show. And that girl with the shaved head is so weird looking.
Oh,
ew.
It's a bit harsh.
Yeah.
Listen, Jim Tonight 16 just hates bald women. He's fine. Like Jim Tonight 16 gets an out though, because he's named after the worst mineral.
What, number 16?
Jim said Act 16. Yeah, it's atomic, and it also
It's atomic number 16.
makes you shit your pants whenever you look at it. Yeah, that was 2014's school dance. I would say your favourite lines from the film?
Fuck the Macarena.
I must have missed that one.
You did.
Yeah, I think that's when you left the room to go and sort your back out.
Listen to it back. It'll be funny. Just laugh now.
Also, ooh, so tiny.
Yeah. No, none of it. Just none of it. It was just atrocious.
Well, that baby's got a 720 credit score.
That's pretty good.
I look forward to working for you for a day.
Okay.
Say goodbye, boys and girls.
Bye.
Bye.
Please come back. I love how we always do a bit with our names, and Joe never bothers.